everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where it's time to get back to the main story. But before we do, we have so many little pieces of loot that we need to put into our collection. Oh goodness, we have so much. First off, we got the Littlefoot minion. This particular Yeti is content in knowing that bigger is not always necessarily better. Littlefoot, I believe we get from the Woodland Exploration 14 venture that you can do with your retainers. And let me also double check that this is marked off. There we go. Next on the list is, I forgot to get this at the get this into my collection at the end of the Hildebrand quests. Wind Up Gentleman. If Clockwork Hildebrand doesn't quite roll off the tongue, both Minion of Enquiry and Mammoth Extraordinaire are acceptable alternatives. Good old Hildebrand. I fucking love you, my beautiful himbo. As I thought about it more, it became very obvious. Hildebrand, he is in fact a genius. He is a genius who pretends to be daft. He is a perfect himbo, and I adore him. What do you mean he's actually a genius? He's clearly an idiot. Okay, but he immediately figured out how Greg met all the conditions to summon a primal, while Briardian was in denial that seemingly in denial that primals even existed. I might be being a little uncharitable to Briardian, but fuck Briardian. But yeah, no, Hildebrand. I stand by my attempts to redeem Hildebrand's image, and I will insist that Hildebrand is a very, very smart man who pretends to be daft because it sets his adversaries off guard. Also, he was in stasis for 5 years. He was a zombie. He has severe concussions, especially from the repeated bombings that he experiences, and also fell from the fucking Dalamud and landed on his head, presumably. He's dealing with a lot, and he's still a fucking genius. Like, the man's good. He's very good. Next up, I got the Fenrir Triple Triad card. Picked this one up from a run of Snowcloak. It can drop randomly from the boss at the end. Let me make sure this is all in my checklist. Okay, next up we've got a few rewards from achievements. Let's see, we've got a few rewards from achievements. The first one is going to be from Battle, Raids, and out of a Bind 1, complete the final coil of Bahamut. For this we get Wind Up Louis Soir. Wind Up Louis Soir. The 7th Astral Era is secure as long as the Archon is ever at our sides. Another one for the checklist, just to make sure I'm keeping track of everything. One more thing from achievements, for now. This one's going to be under Exploration, Sightseeing, Out of Sight, Out of Mind. For completing all of the A Realm Reborn entries in our Sightseeing log, we get the Fledgling Up Kalu. We'll follow you until you give him a fish. We'll continue to follow you after being given a fish. Okay, let me get that also into my checklist. Next up, we did get a new emote from the Hildebrand quest that I failed to show off, but I am going to show off now. Most Gentlemanly. Beautiful, love it. I do want to point out that it is in fact identical to the Flex emote, but with one difference. Most Gentlemanly has the gleam at the end, and also you hold the pose. I love it. It's great. Let me double check that that is also checked off. It is good. Okay, that should be all of the loot that I have available. There's still a few more pieces of loot that we can get from A Realm Reborn. Particularly a few from dungeons, and at least one minion I can think of from a trial. I will grind those out in due time. Before we go and continue the main story, though, I also do want to check in with the Scions. How's everyone doing? Hello, Ishtola? The rising stones feel somehow colder. Moenbryda always carried with her such an abundance of warmth and cheer. It might all be the same as it was before, but we must find some means of protecting ourselves from Ascian intrusions. There must be a way. I don't feel much like talking at the moment. If you could just give me some time. I loathe to see Ida in such pain, but I have not the words to comfort her. Can you imagine it? I, Papa Lima, the one who has an eloquent comment for every situation, am at a loss for words. Yeah, okay, it's the same dialogue as before, but it's still good to be thorough. Especially since I've already missed so much fucking dialogue despite trying to be thorough. Very annoyed at some of the stuff I've missed. Okay then, let's see. I believe it is time to continue the main story. I do want to note, for those who care about the roleplay aspect of this, I've mentioned in the past, but I actually have 5 Warriors of Light, and it will be explained why I have 5 eventually. It's a little bit more than just, I wanted to have 5 characters. But Satora's kind of like the, quote, main character, which I'm trying to actually fix in my writing. I don't like her being the main... It's not that I don't like her, it's just I don't... It feels bad to have her be the main character when I have 5 characters. I want them to all be on equal footing. But for this next chunk of story, in at least the RP canon, Satora's not actually present. She's grieving. She's grieving very severely. She even clawed Moenbryda. It's great. She's having a great time. Anyways, she's not present for this next part, but she is for the playthrough because she's the character of the playthrough. Having a great one. Yeah. All right. Let's talk to Moenbryda. Moenbryda has a request to make of us. Have you a moment, Satora? I believe Ida wished a word with you, but she just told me she didn't want to speak. I should consider a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moenbryda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Yeah. Imagine if you were playing this at launch and you got to spend just months with everyone in this miserable state because Moenbryda died and you had to wait for patch 2.55 for this last chunk of story to come out. How pleasant, how lovely, definitely miserable. Hey, it's Satora! Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon days with Rowena, oh god, a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times. Me too! And, well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Oh, thank God you're not getting into debt with her. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you and the daisy at Rathafrost. Hey, it's something. Oh. Yeah, Ida not doing well. I'm trying to think. Out of my party, who would be taking the reins at this point? Kokonori feels like the most obvious. Just because of his personality. You haven't met the characters. It's fine. I don't need to worry about this out loud. Okay then, let's go pick up a daisy from Rowena. At least it's being paid for up front, and we're not gonna have to worry about, you know, going into debt with fucking Rowena. Hi, asshole! What can I do for you today, adventure? Eldritch trinket to trade? No, I need to pay for a moon daisy. They've got you running errands now. Them Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Shut the fuck up! Go to hell, Rowena! Seriously though, you'd best learn how to say no or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. You know what? Sometimes it is nice to have something a little bit more on the downtime. Like, something that's not putting my fucking life in danger. Also, Satora's grieving too. The entire party is grieving. Everyone is upset. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it. Until that Ida lasts, I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. God knows she needs to... You! Oh, I hated you before, but now it's personal. It's funny how the more minor personal shit is so much more aggravating than the more systemic, like, major issues. Probably because it is... Oh, God. Fuck you, Rowena. Fuck you, you heartless piece of shit. Oh my God, I hate you. Alright, let's go to Wrath of Frost. Let's just meet you over there. I need to scream for a little bit. Hi, Ida. Ooh, beautiful view of... yeah. 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 So on my end, I actually haven't recorded that yet. Our World of Darkness meetup is in about a week from now, so still hasn't technically happened for me yet, but for Satora, yeah. Oh hey, the stars actually rotate in the sky. Neat. Alright. Hi, Ida. Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me, so anyway, let's see it. Oh no, I'm with you. Fuck Rowena. Moon daisies are often hung to rafters, trees, or other elevated locations to represent the celestial body when performing holy rituals to the goddess Menfina during daylight hours. Oh. Moenbryda loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me? We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Well, this is bad. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right then. Quickly, back to the Rising Stones. Sounds like we are needed. Our rest is at an end. Well, before we go in to check, I take it everyone's going to be exactly the same as they were before. Thanks again, Satora. I think I'm gonna be alright. Good. Ida seems to have regained a little of her spark, and I believe we have you to thank for that. I am most grateful, Satora, truly. Good, good, good. Okay, you're nothing new, and you say nothing new. Fair enough. Alright, Alphino, what news do you have for us? I take it bad. That's probably a safe assumption. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moenbryda's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Kurthus will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her reports. Alright. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV, Defenders for Ishgard. I'll see everyone next time for that.